International Conference Financing for Development. We need innovation and integrity to develop our business platform. Financing for Development, 4th International Conference, Sevilla, Spain, 2025. This is the 4th International Conference, Financing for Development. We need integrity and innovation to develop our business investment platform. Sevilla, Spain. In this 4th International Conference for Financing for Development, business entrepreneurs, business leaders, diplomats around the world have gathered here. This is such a great opportunity for all of us to invest in our business, to reshape the financial strategy of the world, to bring a better planet Earth with integrity, peace, and awareness in education. We need to invest in children in order to help them to grow and to end child poverty. Financing for Development, Sevilla, Spain, 2025. We need to invest in children in order to end child poverty. Financing for Development, International Business Conference, Sevilla, Spain, 2025.
Evening plans in this beautiful city. And yet, I think this is going to be the most important panel. And this is the one that I've certainly looked the most forward to discussing, because I can't think of a more urgent topic than not only how to mobilize more financing, but how to mobilize it towards the type of people who can take that financing and achieve the most maximum impact. That is driving this financing to women, driving this financing to children, so as to realize the kinds of return on investment that we all know is possible. And I think that this discussion could not be happening at a more important moment. The business case for investing in women and children has never been more profound in many different places, too many places around the world. We're not only seeing stagnation, but indeed rolling back of progress, not only towards the financing that's going to women and children, but indeed their chances of realizing full equality in the world. Just even some specific examples, I'm now working with 2 different organizations based in North America, both of which have a mandate to promote women's leadership in the investment management sector, and both are having to completely
nearly 2 million households, including cash transfer for orphans and vulnerable children, and over 420,000 households. Our care reforms through the Kenya Draft National Care Policy is rewriting the story of
and indeed investors to center children in investing. So can you tell us more about what UNICEF is leading on this topic?
Thank you, Veronica. I'm very happy to talk about that, but not before starting out. As all the previous speakers, so I'm becoming a bore, but it's meant very sincerely. As a shout out to ANDRA. Investing in the future has to begin with those that are the future. That's not my generation. That's your generation. And if you are just another girl, I don't know what a powerful girl looks like. Now, I've been sitting in this type of holes like for almost 40 years, in different incarnations, and hardly ever do we hear or see young people. We have 2 here. I also see Roberto, who's representative from UNICEF Spain. I've worked in the private sector. In the boardroom, I can tell you, the voice of young people usually is not there. But young people, children, are a third of humanity, They're 50% of the poor people in this world, and they are 100% of the future. So if this conference is not about young people, about just another girl, can you never say that again? You're not? Then I don't know what this is about. Now, on the private sector, for us this is a really important topic. And I want to begin with saying that we are not doing this out of a scramble for resources. We are doing this, and we have started doing this well before the funding crisis we are in, because I fundamentally believe that if we do not crowd in the private sector and the financial sector, we will never achieve the SDGs. That's the plain vanilla reality of this world. We need the private sector, not as an afterthought, not as an appendix to solve a funding gap, because they are a key part of the puzzle. Now, I mean, I don't know how many days you've already spent here, and I keep hearing that we are short of, what is it, 4.2 trillion a year, I think? And I can tell you, I don't even know how many zeros there are, right? I want you to start breaking that down into very simple math. And that math begins with a 1. Every trillion begins with $1. With $1, UNICEF can save 2 children because we can vaccinate them against measles. Then there's another one. There's 400 trillion of assets in banks, in pension funds, in other asset holders. Now just think what we could do if only 1% out of all of that wealth, 400 trillion, is redirected to create some positive impact for children. That sounds like a much more achievable target, doesn't it? It's important to understand that this is about redirecting finance. It is not about funding for the likes of UNICEF or an NGO. It is making sure that investment is happening where it matters most, which is for young people.
Thank you so much, Veronica. Us in the UN, and Kitty has said it, we want to be real to the issues we are speaking about as we work with the member states and as we work with communities. Anna, you have a seat on the table, come back. Come back. Can you come with your chair here, Anna? Because we are saying we want women and girls on the table, not as transient, but as a perpetuity in presence. So we would like you as part of the panel to be here, Lina, a trusted partner, and working together within the ecosystem of the UN and our various other agencies to really scale up the conversations from here. Through our sustainable finance work, we are strengthening the market infrastructure to support gender lens investing, focusing on credibility, on transparency, and on accountability, so that investors and communities have confidence that capital delivers real gender equality outcomes. Just a few examples. Our work on gender bonds have been transformative and have been super exciting. In 2021, we published the market guidance together with IFC and ICMA that now serves as a global standard for gender bond issuance. So those out there who wants to issue gender bonds, we have the guidance on how this can be evolved. We supported and worked closely with Iceland in issuing the world's first sovereign gender bond. And the government of Iceland.
Without gender lens investment, there will be no advancement in SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. We don't want to wait 187 years in order to have empowerment for women and children. The more we invest in children and women, the more powerful we will become, and so do our society. Without gender lens investment, there will be no advancement for Sustainable Development Goals. We don't want to wait 187 years in order to have empowerment for women and children. If you want to progress in our business, in our society, Altogether, we have to invest in women and children because they are the strength of our future business strategy and plans. Financing for development, the conference at the FIVES Conference Center in Sevilla, Spain. This is the FIVES Conference Center in Sevilla, Spain. The financing for development in the FIVES Conference Center in Sevilla, Spain.